Today I want to show you some different techniques on how we can help winterize our house. First types of doors we want to check out for seals are our garage doors. Simple seals, but sometimes these seals get very rigid or sometimes they get damaged. So we just want to check the seal and make sure that it actually has a good seal to the door, especially here at the bottom. The bottom's an important spot, and the reason the bottom is an important spot is because it's a location that oftentimes our unwanted pests get in. They chew out the bottom corners of those and they work their way in. So make sure that the door looks nice and tight all the way around the perimeter, and if it doesn't, then it's time to replace the seal. All right, now that we've checked the outside perimeter, now we want to check the bottom of the door seal. These seals should be supple, and we want to make sure that it actually goes all the way over to the edge. This is also another spot that gets worn out, and when it wears out, then it's another place for air to get in, but also for those unwanted pests. So it's important that this seal goes all the way over here to this edge. And if it doesn't, this seal actually slides out to replace it. So then you can cut a piece off, take it to your local store, hardware store, or garage door company, and get some new seal for it to put in there so that you have a nice tight seal. Let's go to the next door. Now it's time to check all of our exterior doors. The thing with exterior doors is we're looking around the perimeter of the door. The seal that actually hits this door itself is what we're looking at. These seals are generally pretty easy to replace. So let's go inside and I'm going to show you how to do that. But first, if you don't have a storm door, always a storm door is a good thing to have as a secondary layer of protection against these doors because there's seals all around them. But the storm door helps give you another layer or barrier. If you don't have a storm door, you want to make sure that you check at the bottoms of the doors to make sure that it's nice and sealed, because our windows and our doors are our greatest heat loss. And because they lose a lot of heat, when we put snow up against them, the snow melts and works its way into the base of the door frame itself. So make sure that you check the seals at the bottom of the doors to make sure that it's nice and weather tight. Let's go inside and I'll show you how to change out the seals. All right, now that we've checked the outside of the doors, now we've come inside and now we want to show you how to replace the door seal itself. So we can check the door seals to make sure that they're nice and tight on the inside, make sure that there's no damage. And when there is damage, then obviously we replace them. These door seals come out pretty easily. So let me show you how you do it. Basically, you just grab a hold of the edge, put your fingers against the trim and start to pull. And it'll pull out of that track. This is also helpful when you're painting the door trim as well. So it's easy to pull that out, paint the door trim, let it dry, and then push it back in too. But anyway, once you've pulled off the door seal, you can go to your local hardware store or local big box store and pick up a full-size piece of the door seal. It looks like this for a side profile. Then all you have to do is measure out the size of the seal, cut it with a pair of scissors, which I've already done, and you're ready to rock. So basically, before you take it off, first make sure that it's a nice good fit, and if it's not, figure out about how much more you have to add to it so it's nice and tight. But then we cut them and we just slide them into that groove. We start on one side and we push it back in. And when it's all done, we got new door seals. So we want to do that all the way around the door, and at the bottom of the door, that's where we want to put in, there's a little wedge, and let me show you what that looks like. Here's the little wedge I was talking about. This is often missing at people's homes, but it has a very specific purpose, and the purpose of it is to fill this little void at the very bottom of the door. If you've ever looked at from the inside of the house at the bottom of the door, looking at the very bottom corners, so a lot of times you see light coming out of that very bottom corner. That's what this is supposed to help seal. So what this does is you pull the seal off the back and you pull the seal at the bottom out and you slide this along that bottom all the way in, but touching the bottom here, all the way in and down, and then this comes over top of it. And what that little foam barrier there does, or what that little gasket does, is it holds this out so that the door actually seals there at the bottom. And it also pushes against the door. So it's a really critical piece to make sure that this door is as sealed as it can be. I hope you found this video useful. I hope you learned how to inspect your different door seals around the house and how to install a new door seal. If you have any questions, as always, put them in the comments below. We like to be a resource for you to understand your largest investment, how to maintain it, and how to take care of it. So.